All right, you guys. So I'm gonna go over trends. A lot of people keep going into puts when you're not supposed to, or getting into calls when you think it's like a dip. So literally, this is the most. I'm gonna try to make this like as fast as I can. This video it's gonna be like 5, 10 minutes maybe max. So I'm just gonna go straight to the point. Okay. So basically, a trend. You guys already know an uptrend does this, right? Creates a new high, then does a higher low at some point, breaks out, has to break out the high in order for create to create another high, right? So it'll try to break out of this area, which I'm pointing here. You can see the crosshair. It'll try here, break out, and then go up, right? So it'll break out that area, come back up, make a new high, come back. Some point, sometimes it'll retest or it won't. It'll retest that previous high, which buyers will obviously locate it, and then obviously keep doing the same thing, create a new low, break the high, higher low, and then just keep going up and up, right? So with this, what you want to do is go to the bigger time frame. Most of the time I go to the 4 hour, and that's where I see this trend going up. So if you go to the 4 hour or even the weekly, you start noticing all this, right? You'll see it super clear. um, what I usually do is, just since I'm using the 4 hour, right? So I'll go to the 4 hour. This will be the 4 hour a trend. This is basically an uptrend. There's just super simple. There's nothing else to this. So because this is an uptrend, then I'm gonna obviously you're creating new moves, right? Like this. Let me just make it more simple, I guess. Not even touching. It'll just be like that if you do a trend line. So this will be an uptrend, right? So that's your uptrend. Let's make this a little bigger, green, and I'll put it below. Uptrend creates new highs and higher lows. So what you're gonna want to do here is, this is something you'll see on the 4 hour, which you want to use that as the bigger time frame to give you an exact entry. So in my case, it's the 4 hour. Depends on you as a trader. If you like using the weekly, the daily, this always works. This is how a trend is formed. Even on the smaller time frame, up to the 1 minute 30 seconds, it'll work out. So this is the 4 hour for me, which I like using a lot. So on the 4 hour, you see that it created a high, right? A low, higher high, a low, higher high, and then a low. When you find these peaks, you put a level. This will be one of my major levels, which I put it at whatever color I want, which I use purple. You can use whatever color you want. So I'm gonna use purple in this case, and there you go, right? I'm gonna have that, so I know that this level 289 is where sellers or buyers were, sellers and buyers once were, and sellers and buyers. If you feel like you need to have it color coordinated, then it could be the same thing. This could be green for buyers, this could be red for sellers, and the same thing, sellers on top or buyers, right? Once it breaks, you could change it and just follow through. Remember, you're gonna do analysis. You want to be able to have your chart easy to read, so whenever you do look at your chart, you already know what the color means, color coordination means for you, and it'll be much easier for you to trade and know that it could go to the next slide. So when you have the 4 hour level, you're gonna have this, right? Highs, lows, highs, lows, highs, lows. Inside the 4 hour, how do you get the bigger move? How do I get the bigger move? Is basically, when you go to the smaller time frame, which if I start going to the 1 hour time frame, you're start noticing. Let me extend this a little bit more. You're start noticing inside of here of this 4 hour, you'll see something like this, right? So the 4 hour, I'm gonna try to match it to this, up to this level. So let me put another line here. Okay, so put this one green, obviously, because that's our demand according to the bottom side. So on the 1 hour, you're gonna see this again. Obviously it breaks. It's gonna go up, do something like this, and then keep doing up in the 4 hour, like something like that. And then probably it'll break out or retouch one more time, and then drop, and then do something like this, and continuously go again. You know, that's how the market is. I'm not trying to show you the smoothest way of the market, but it'll do something like this, right? And then probably just break out and continue. It doesn't matter, and something do like that. But this is what the 1 hour is gonna show you, right? It's gonna vary the time, but as long as you know that you're creating a new high and new low, it's gonna go. So right here, I try to match it to the crosshair, which I was following. So on the 1 hour, this will basically be your 1 hour. You see that the 1 hour is gonna look like this, and this is gonna look cleaner. So this will be your 1 hour time frame. Let me see. It's 5 minutes past. I'm trying to make it in 10. So on this 1 hour, you're gonna find the same thing on the bullish uptrend. You know, you're gonna see the high. You see that area there. If I put that high, if I put a level on that high, you're gonna see this. So in between this 1 hour, which basically, imagine what I just showed you here, it's this section zoomed in. You know, this is a zoomed in section. So because of that, this is what you're gonna see there. You know, going up, going down. So what I will do here is put my level switch, start putting them in dashes. You know, this creates the high, it comes back, gets the low, but it's still holding a 4 hour level, which is bullish, right? And then obviously it breaks that level, breaks this level here. You see that? Comes back up to touch that peak, give you another high, so you put another level. So are you still bullish? Yes, you're bullish as long as you don't break the previous high. Right? So as long as you don't break that previous high, you will not get that drop that you want. Obviously, pullbacks happen depending on how big the time frame is and how you start seeing when it starts creating lower highs. In this case, you saw how, if you guys can see, it's super easy. Look, another buyer there. That's your dip. Now you want this high to break, but most of the time, if it's bullish and you're comparing it to this, you're having your little levels there. You see that? Micro levels. You're having your micro levels here, and this is what you start seeing in the chart. Once you see that it broke this low, you see right here at the bottom, that's the low. It was holding the low and then it broke down. It's gonna come and retrace. You know, so that's the thing about here, that when you're trading with this, don't be biased with the market. Oops, my bad. Don't be biased with the market, because if it does break, you could take some puts right there, right exactly here where I'm pointing at right now, which is right there. You could take some puts if it drops, or depending on patterns, you start using patterns, you know, probably get a triple top, double top. In this case, you see that the low wasn't trying to hold, and if you get like a bearish candle on top or shooting star or something, it's gonna indicate you to drop. You know, it's gonna give you a move where it's giving you a hint to where it's gonna go, right? So in this case, if it breaks below there, I would try to go to the smaller time frame, the 15-minute or something, and it'll be the same thing. You know, so you want to use the 4 hour, which what I do, like I told you, 4 hour to 1 hour. Hold this, drops. Obviously, if it bounces there, you'll get like a bullish move, and you could take it up too. You know, it could probably break and do all of this, but if you do take it, then you're obviously following the trend. Still, it hasn't broken the uptrend on the bigger time frame, which is the 4 hour, and then the smaller time frame, obviously it's just pulling back. So you could take calls there again, or take a long, and then try to hold it to see if it breaks that position. Sometimes it does try to come back and retest. So if you see that it rejects, then you could get out your position and again go short and maybe take the whole move down, because now you created a lower high. So that's basically the 10 minutes. This is just the uptrend video to show you how the uptrend goes. If you guys want a downtrend one, then I'll do both of them and I'll connect them, but I'm trying to just basically show you the trend. If you guys don't know, I do have a video already that talks about the trend. That's why I don't really want to go into it, but it's just a more cleaner view of how you could see things. So if I do chart anything right now, if I go back in time, now that you guys know what this works, I'll start charting somewhere here, right? You could start seeing that this created a high there, right? There's a high right there. Like, you see the high, just the peaks. There's a low there, a high there. This is the 1 hour. right? This is a low here, high there on the 1 hour. If I put levels here at the bottom, looking at this side, see, one more there, one more on top, and there's the last high on top. Look at what it does. By candles, you start seeing the whole move. It broke down, came to retest. You notice that it didn't break. Gave you a shooting star. You couldn't have the shooting star. Take it back down to 405. Breaks below here too. Also, keeps dropping down. Once it comes back inside this level, then you see you get that breakout. It just keeps going and going and going and going. See? And obviously, if you notice that this is a big high, the last high they created, you could put this as your purple line. See that? This one has your purple line, the last big high. The low, the biggest low. You know, I could see this on the 4 hour already, but there you go. You get your big moves. Bigger holds, bigger moves. And all you do is just follow through. That's it. Obviously, it broke this high that you never seen before, right? So you go to a different high. Right there, this is your newest high that you never seen. Right here. Right, so now you want to go, I guess, to the back to the time frame if there's anything. But if it does break, the way that I show the next move is basically getting level to level. So if this will be a future price that obviously you can't see here, just get the range of the break from here to the last level that you got, and then just project it to the upside, and you will get a move there. You see that? And yeah, basically that's the 10-minute video. And there's the other video there about the trend lines. Look for it on YouTube. I have it on my, I'll put this, I could put this the link down below, but I don't think it's gonna actually highlight it for you on YouTube, so I don't like the style of that. But if you look up my channel, you'll find the trend line video, and it'll just show you the bullish and the bearish. If not, I have a book that talks about this. It's on my bio also, my link tree. And alright, you guys, see you later.